Hey, welcome back to Toy Reviews with Guff. It's a new day, and you know what that means. It's a new review. Today we will be reviewing the Transformers Kingdom or for Cybertron trilogy. Optimus Primal. He is a Voyager class. Give me 1 second here. Give me 1 second here to readjust a little bit. So, here he goes inside of his packaging. We do have the artwork of his robotic mode. Very nicely done. He is a Voyager class. There he goes in his ape mode, or his King Kong mode. For ages 8 and up, Hasbro, Transformers, Generations. Takara Tomy says Optimus Primal. I will guess says the same thing, and Cybertronian. You do have the Transformers Kingdom or for Cybertron trilogy right there on the top. You do have the Maximal logo emblem. Transformers were for Cybertron. On this side you have a picture of Optimus, Bumblebee, Tigertron, RC, Optimus Primal, Cheetor, Rat Trap, and then up here you do have the famous Rhinox. You do have the glorious Dinobot, Scorponok, Arachne. You do have Beastars Megatron. You do have the Robots in Disguise Megatron. You do have Galvatron. Looks like Unicron right up here. The Eater of Worlds. On the back here you do have the Maximal sign. Transformers more than meets the eye. Then you do have Optimus Primal in his robotic mode. Says Optimus Primal. You do have the obligatory picture of him being in his beast mode. And then you do have running. Small parts are not for, kids to eat, basically. Some more words. Hasbro on the bottom here. We do have the authentic Transformers sign there, along with more words and so forth that won't focus for some odd reason. The barcode, and then all the different emblems there, along with some more words. And there we go. Let's readjust this real quick and then get him opened, shall we? Okay, so here he goes out of the box. This is everything that you end up getting. You end up getting Optimus Primal, which is in this robot mode out of the packaging. And then you do have the accessories, which is the swords. You do have the instruction manuals that tells you step by step on how to transform him. You do have the warning, trucking hazard, not for under 3 years old. You do have the box, and then you do have the card that comes in all of these. They're usually kind of bent a little bit because they're holographic. This one is Black Arachnia. On here it does say Predacon Kingdom for, for Cybertron. But the funny thing is, it says Predacon, which she was a Predacon, but then after Enral, she became a Maximal. She is the Spider Lady. Next to like tarantulas. So let's see how he looks, shall we? And the head mold, we do have right there, like how it is, and the what would you say, the CGI cartoon. You do have kind of hard to see, but this is like a light shade of gray. You do have the little side cannons. You do have the little side part there. You do have the blue that is in the cartoon right there, compared to the one from Power of the Primes. If you notice with that one, kind of hard to tell, but the mouth covering part was silver instead of white. And then we do have this chest piece. Right there, you can see there's a little bit of red right up in there. Then the blue, hard to tell up in here, but this blue, the darker blue, is like a metallic blue. Then you have the like sky metallic look blue on the inside, and then you do have the red and white in the bicep area. And on the upper arm, you do have the fur looking shoulders and arms, and then he does have the gorilla hands still. And then in the waist here, you do have silver with some blue. In the upper thigh, you do have that white along with the gorilla fur, the red kneecaps, and then you do have the fur going down the shins, and then you do have that metal organic combination going from the like femur down to the toes. And then on the back here, you do have the kibble from the gorilla feet going up. All of this is still the gorilla fur. Right there is still gorilla fur on the back. This part does unhinge when you transform Optimus Primal. This part does unhinge on peg right here as well. And then you do have the minus relatively stiff to turn, but you can have him look up ever so slightly. Hello. But you can do a full 3, well, no, unless, yeah, you can just turn like that, look up, look straight. For my figure, everything is relatively stiff, but you do have the arms out to the side, full 360 spin at the bicep area. You do have that degree of bend at the elbow. The hands do open and shut, like how Earthrise Optimus Prime hands do. One little gimmick that he does have other than the cannons here is the arm cannons. If you look closely, you can see the outline there and an outline right here. You can take and push up on that, and that makes this part come up, and then you can pull up the rest of the way. You do have these arm cannons. Now there's on a pin as well, so you can adjust it to be pointed more upwards or more straight out. Both of the arms does that. And the hand is able to do a 360 as well. The legs, let's just take these swords off. The legs do have that splits going on basically, but it's almost a full split. The knees do bend all the way back. It is on a double hinge joint basically. There we go. Now you can rotate the legs just like that. The toes do go up for the transformation to gorilla, but the gorilla toes is on a little tiny hinge. That's about all that you'll get out of it. But you do have the ankle tiltage right there. So there we go for all that. And then for his swords, they go right on up in the hand, like so. Close it up. And there we go, there goes one. There goes the other one. Now with these swords, I actually like how they look and how they peg into the back here for storage. Now if you was to have gotten the power of the primes, Optimus Primal, you wouldn't have gotten our swords, you would have gotten the regular hand cannons, gun cannons. But if you was to have bought the DNA labs, you would have been able to get these. This one somehow, some way broke, but that is theirs. If you look, quite the size difference. But if you were to, let's just say, put it in his hand, would be like that. So let's see how he fares in size comparison. He is a Voyager class, but seems to me like he would be more of, when he is transformed in the robot mode, he would be more like a deluxe class, because the previous Optimus Primal is more of a deluxe class, I would say, in this form, because here goes the leader class Galaxy upgrade Optimus Prime, who happens to be a leader class, but he becomes more of a leader class when he is upgraded. So like this would be more like a Voyager class height. So yeah, there's a little bit height difference. And I like the head sculpt, but would have been nice if they would have had it a little bit smaller like him. Here he goes next to Siege, Voyager class, Optimus Prime. Earthrise, Voyager, no leader class, Optimus Prime. And then here goes the Titans Return, Powermaster Optimus Prime, which would have been the same height as him, basically. Here he goes to the classic Transmetal Optimal Optimus. As you can see, they're basically the same height, the difference is the wings. let's remove some of these for the other tool. So here he goes with the Transmetal Optimus Primal, which is a hair bit taller than what he is. So like in the episodes and stuff, he basically gets killed by Megatron. Rhinox brings the spark back and puts it into that. So yeah, that would be the perfect size comparison. And let's grab him real quick to turn him into Optimus Primal here. And as you can see, the power of the Primes one is almost as tall as the original, but he is basically the same height as Power Master Optimus Prime here. So let's move Optimus out of the way real quick as well. And there we go. You have the two original Transmetals right there, and then you have the basically remakes of them as well. So let's get to the transformation, shall we? So to get down to the transformation, all you do, go ahead, unpeg those, bring these up, bring the shoulders down, open that spot right there, like so. Now for me, I unpeg this, well, untab it, and then I do just like that. The chest piece is on a pin to rotate it to make the 8 mode chest. Pull this part out like so. Rotate that. Bring the gorilla head up. Hello. Turn it around. Push it back in. These cannons can go in like so. Easy way to get them back out is just to pull this back out, turn it, reach in, pull out. Bring this whole back piece back up, it'll click, bring his head down like so. I'm not happy. I'm not facing Godzilla. And then take the hands here, rotate, grab these and push up to fold them up like so. Rotate this whole middle part. Bring this back piece, this back down. Rotate it, and then bring it down. Then with these knees, you're gonna wanna get it like this, because there's gonna be this little peg right there, kind of hard to see, but you can see it right there. You're gonna peg that peg into that peg hole right there, and then ever so gently just rotate this femur part, the lower half of the leg, down like this basically. And there we go. Bring the legs back. Bring the hands and arms out. Bring the head up. And then put these back here if you want to for storage. And there we go, we have Big Bot. So for articulation, his head, if you bring it out like that, can do a full 360. Look up, or forward, whichever way. Up, forward, straight, down, to the side, to the other side, behind him if you want to. Arms is, and the shoulders still full 360. You still got that bend right there. You still have the rotation of the hands. You do have the kibble right there. Oops. But you do have the kibble right there as well. The chest piece is done up in a gray, just like the toes and hands and fingers, and then that face, that scowl, that King Kong look, that ever so menacingly looking stare. You can have him stand up too, keeping it pegged in. Just rotate it back down. Keep the head looking straight ahead. Rotate the hands back around. And there you have him, standing straight up. That's the thing if you want to do it. Just like if you wanted to store the swords on the back. And there we go. And then for size comparison, let's bring him back down on his all fours here. Like how a lot of gorillas and apes would be. Real quick here. There we go. Bring his head back up. So for size comparison, here he goes next to Transmetal Optimus Primal. Transmetal Power of the Primes Optimus Primal, so Optimal Optimus. And then here he goes next to the classic Optimal Optimus Transmetal. As you can see, he is the smallest one of all. Here is the Power of the Primes, other Optimus Primal, which combines to him to make Optimal Optimus. And then, like this one, you're supposed to peg him in to be on a surfboard. And just because they're all similar in size, because I also didn't feel like transforming all of them, just to show the same size comparison basic. And also for the fact that this is supposed to be when he comes to Earth. Let's go on ahead and remove all of these as well. Like so. But here goes Earthwise Leader Class Optimus Prime. Next to Kingdoms Optimus Primal. So you see the size difference. Oops. Repeat. But yeah, there we go. We'll just leave these to the side for now. But yeah, there goes the big bot himself next to the other big bot. All in all, I actually do enjoy the figure. He is worth buying, in my opinion. You do have all the little gimmicks, you know, with the hand cannons, the shoulder cannons, the swords. The articulation is really nice in my opinion. You can even have him, you know, be on Optimus Prime. Let's go get those Megatrons. So there we go. With that being said, thanks for watching, and let's roll out.